Race number 8 of the NASCAR Cup Series season is complete, which brought us to Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. This little 1 mile oval based up in the mountains of Tennessee is very famous. So famous, in fact, that it's held events outside of NASCAR. It's held a college football game, it's held a baseball game, and it was even rumored to host a hockey game. Sadly, that ended up being false. We have a full menu of racing to get into, so let's get started. On Friday, we have the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Tennessee Army National Guard 250. Saturday, we have 2 races, the Suburban Propane 300 for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and the ARCA Menards Series West has a race, the Tucson ARCA Menards West 150 at Tucson Speedway. And finally, on Sunday, we have the Cup Series, the Food City 500. We're already not off to a good start for this race, as we have 7 bushwhackers in the field. Yeah, 7. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Daniel Suarez, and Carson Hocevar. Brother. This race is the 3rd race in the Triple Truck Challenge, or the Trip as Fox calls it. Corey Heim has won the first 2 races. Can he go for number 3 tonight? Let's find out. He starts 12th. Carson Ferguson, who is one of the runner-ups in the Ram Race for the Sea TV show, will be piloting the 25 truck for Colic Racing tonight. I'm going to use this segment to give a birthday shout-out to Andres Perez de Lora. He starts 27th on his birthday. Your pole sitter is Caden Honeycutt. He'll go on to lead the first 3 laps of the race, but then lose the lead to Christian Eckes, who will go on to win Stage 1. Only one caution in this stage, and that's when Andres Perez goes for a spin. Not a good way to start your birthday for him, that's for sure. What's kind of crazy is the Cup regulars in the field haven't been able to do anything, which is very strange. You would have expected Kyle Busch or someone to be up front, but no, they've all been struggling. Carson Ferguson, unfortunately, is not having a good day. He's 1 lap down, and he's about to lose another one as Christian Eckes does a bump and run to get him out of the way and put him 2 laps down. Lane Rigg starts challenging Christian for the lead, and they pass Frankie Muniz to get him a lap down. Unfortunately, another caution comes out when Frankie Muniz decides to turn down on Tyler Reif and crash both of them out. Much like Atlanta, I have to stress this, Frankie, it's called a rearview mirror, buddy. Use it. Under the caution period, everyone but 4 trucks come in for 4 tires and fuel. One of the trucks that stayed out, Ben Rhodes, was concerned that he made a mistake, so asking, why did we stay out? He was worried he was about to get swallowed up. But as it turns out, that gamble worked out, as Ben would go on to win Stage 2. So far in the first 2 stages, we've had 1 caution for each stage, including the stage break cautions, and Christian Eckes being the dominant truck. Well, that's all about the change, as Stage 3 is pretty chaotic. It all starts when Kyle Busch takes a gamble and stays out when everyone else comes into pit. This ends up working out for him as he retains the lead. However, it's not meant to be. We have 3 cautions in the next 20 laps, and Kyle Busch decides to start saving fuel. For whatever reason, his truck refuses to refire, and that costs Kyle Busch the lead. Uh-oh. Hey, how's Corey Heim doing? Well, Heim finds himself inside the top 5. He charges to the lead, he doors Christopher Bell, and finally gains the lead for the first time tonight, albeit only briefly. Christian Eckes did not appreciate the way Corey was racing him, and showed his displeasure by dumping him going into one of the turns. This causes a massive pileup, which brings out the red flag. I understand there's been some discussions online over whether what Christian did was good or not. If you ask me, it's just one of those racing deals. It's just what happens at Bristol. Towards the end of the race, Christopher Bell gets the jump on Christian Eckes and takes the lead. He'll hang on to it for the rest of the race and get the victory. This is Christopher's first truck win since 2017. Next up is the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, the Suburban Propane 300. I feel I should put an addendum here. For anyone who's been following this series up to this point, you may know that I've been very critical of Junior Motorsports for throwing Raja Karuf out of the 88 car in favor of Cup drivers like William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Alex Bowman. Well, if Bowman was healthy to drive that car. Well, as it turns out, it's not just him. Connor Zillage has been driving the 1 car for a couple races. That's usually Carson Quaffel's ride. Carson, as it turns out, has made starts not in the 1 car this year. He's made 1 start for DGM's 91 car at COTA, and the other 2 starts at Vegas and tonight at Bristol, he's made in Junior Motorsports 9 car. Wait, what? Yeah, that's a little funky. So Carson isn't allowed to drive the 1 car, but he could drive the 9 car in the same roof. Huh. Wrap your head around that. And I suppose the reason I didn't notice or pay much attention to it is because while what Connor Zillage is doing is technically bushwhacking, Connor only has 1 full year of O'Reilly Auto Parts experience, and he's a Cup rookie this year. Compare that with Kyle Larson, who realistically should have stopped driving in the O'Reilly series back in 2016. But anyway, back to the race. We have 2 bushwhackers in the field. Kyle Larson in the 88 car and Connor Zillage in the 1 car. The usual drivers, Raja Karuf and Carson Quaffel, will be in different cars this week. Raja will be in the 32 car and Carson will be in the 9 car. This race is the first O'Reilly Dash for Cash, a carryover promotion from the Xfinity Series. The participants are William Sawallich, Brandon Jones, Justin Allgaier, and Raja Karuf. If you want to talk confusion, HendrickCars.com will sponsor not 1, not 2, but 3 cars in the race. Kyle Larson's 88 machine, Corey Day's 17 machine, and Raja Karuf's 32 machine. Oh, those poor spotters. For whatever reason, Adam Alexander will not be in the booth today. Dylan Welch will fill in his role. Your pole sitter is William Sawallich, fresh off his first career win at Rockingham the week before, which, that's another addendum I gotta make. I kind of glossed over that William got his first career win at Rockingham. I was focusing more on the fact that it took this long for Joe Gibbs Racing to get a win than it was on William getting his first win. William will hang on to the lead for the next 30 laps. Unfortunately, Kyle Larson is going to stink up the show. He takes the lead on lap 29, and he'll go on to win stages 1 and 2. So far, this race has been a sequel of sorts to the Truck Series race the day before, in that both stages had 1 caution each for an on-track incident, and there was even a red flag in the final laps. What caused the red flag, you might ask? Well, earlier that day, Mason Maggio went for a spin on lap 2. I'm not saying it's connected, but later in the day, his engine exploded, left oil all over the track, and he went down into the pits and behind the wall to get the fire extinguished. Thankfully, he's okay. Some pit crew members came and yanked him out of the car, but what was kind of funny was that Mason stopped in an awkward spot next to a fan, and the fan ended up doing a good job blocking the firemen from going over to the car and putting the fire out. That man should try out for the Chargers, because he does a better job defending the person behind him than our linemen currently do. Speaking of sequels, Kyle Larson has a sequel to his run at Darlington. At Darlington, he dominated the race, won both stages, but came up just a little bit short at the end of the race. Same thing happened here at Bristol. He won both stages, dominated, but unfortunately came up just a little bit short, as Connor Zillage, late in the day, took the lead and eventually the win. Now it's time for ARCA Night in America, the ARCA Menard Series West at Tucson Speedway. If you were watching these races live like I was, there's a good chance you might have missed the opening ceremonies and the command to start engines for the ARCA Menard Series West. Couple things before we get started. Herschel McGriff, NASCAR Hall of Famer, longtime competitor for ARCA West, was the Grand Marshal for the race. That was awesome to see. If you saw the race live, that is, and didn't tune in after the O'Reilly race, but that's a me problem, not a problem with the race itself. Jade Avadasian is back in the number 13 Central Coast Racing Toyota for the race at Tucson. She drove this car at Phoenix, but she drove the number 70 Mobile One Toyota at Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway. Make of that what you will. Haley Deegan has a new car this week, so at Kern County and Phoenix, she rocked the Napa colors. For this week in Tucson, she has Columbia Bank. Your pole sitter for tonight is Cole Denton, who is driving the Jans Towing number 71. Denton leads the field to green and will lead lap 1. Within about 5 laps, everyone enters massive, and I cannot stress enough, massive tire conservation mode, partially due to ARCA and its rule set, but also due to the track itself. It's very worn out, and it will chew up your tires. As a result of this, everyone slows down. One driver who doesn't slow down is David Smith, who is driving the '05 Shockwave suspension Toyota. In case you didn't know, David is the oldest active driver in ARCA. How old do you think he is? I'll give you a minute to think about this. He's 76 years old. Yeah. Oh my goodness. For most of David's ARCA starts, you'll find him in the back of the field, barely hanging on the race pace. Something crazy happened tonight because David went from the back and charged to the front and took the lead. He even led for several laps. It was crazy. We have an on-track incident around the same time the caution would have been thrown anyway for the halftime break, when the 70 car loses a tire and slows down. Jade Avadasian brings it in behind the wall and pops the hood. This race was broadcasted on Flow TV. If there's one thing I've noticed from fans of dirt racing is that Flow isn't a really good TV partner, and after joining the service this month and using it for a while, I can definitely understand where they're coming from. If it's not the video quality dipping on you, it's the fact that there's technical problems like streaming problems, the commercials cutting in and out infrequently, and the worst offender, the commentary cut off, and for a good chunk of this race, there was no commentary. No, really. There were sounds of the racetrack and the ambient noise, and you got to see everything through the camera, but in terms of the commentary from the booth, there was nothing. And by some mere coincidence, this all happened after David Smith lost the lead and went through the grass. We didn't hear them again till 15 laps to go. It's been like this since the restart. What the hell? That's unacceptable. I understand Flow is not a big TV partner, but technical problems like that can't happen, especially for a service you're charging for. Anyway, back to the race. In spite of David Smith getting the lead for a little bit, the dominant car all race long has been Cole Denton. In fact, at one point, he and his teammate from Jan's Towing, Robbie Keneally, were running 1 and 2. Towards the end of the race, he did have some challengers, like Trevor Huddleston in the 50 or Memphis Villarreal in the 72, but he's able to hang on and get the victory. Now it's time for the main event, the Food City 500. And before I get started, can I just say, massive shout out to Food City. They've sponsored the Spring Bristol race in some shape or form since 1992. A lot of these other races have their names changed over the years, but somehow Food City has stayed with the Bristol Spring race through all this time. The trend so far this weekend is that each race will have at least one red flag, and each stage will have at least one caution for an on-track incident. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and the Truck Series have both followed this formula. Will the Cup Series buck this trend, or will it continue? A couple headlines before we get started. Goodyear brought a new tire to Bristol this week. So it's not going to be the cucumber tire from 2024, and it's not going to be the same tire we saw last year in 2025. They're trying, man. They're really trying. NASCAR's kind of put Goodyear in this box where they want Goodyear to fix this car, but at the same time, NASCAR won't do anything to fix the car itself. But I'll talk about that at the end of the video. Alex Bowman is back in the car. He's been out with vertigo symptoms since COTA, and he's been cleared to run the Bristol race. Of all the places to be medically cleared for, why Bristol? This place is a meat grinder, and it's very short. If you have a headache here, oh boy, that's not going to end well for anybody. Practice this week had some unusual names in the top 5. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was the fastest, and Noah Gragson was the second fastest. Eric Jones from Legacy Motor Club was the 4th fastest in practice. Toyota qualifies second through fifth, with a surprise name running towards the front. Riley Herbst. He qualified fourth. Yeah, isn't that something? And if you're curious, Tyler Reddick qualified second. Chase Briscoe will start third. Ty Gibbs will start fifth. Your pole sitter is Ryan Blaney. William Byron will have to start in the back of the field after an unapproved adjustment after qualifying. At the start of the race, Kyle Larson smacks the wall trying to pass another car. Ryan Blaney will go on to lead lap 1, and he'll go on to lead the next 45 laps. Kyle Larson eventually catches Blaney and passes him on lap 46. Our first caution today happens on lap 62 after Brad Keselowski makes contact with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., or as some onboard camera suggests, Stenhouse hit him. But anyway, under this caution period, everyone pits except for Chase Elliott and Josh Berry. When the race resumes, it looks like this gamble will pay off as Josh Berry hangs on to second place while Chase Elliott stumbles but falls back to fifth place. Kyle Larson will hang on and win stage 1. So, what do I think of this tire so far? It's working all right. See, I can't even make a good opinion on this one way or the other. It's not falling apart like the tire from 24, and the drivers are actually trying, and they're not, being lethargic and single file like tires from previous next-gen races. So, is it good? That's hard to answer. The best word I got to describe Bristol so far is stale. That's probably not even the best word. I'm not saying stale like, oh, I can't eat that. I'm stale like, well, it's 2 or 3 days expired. I can still eat this. Things are happening, but it's not enough. And I'll talk about it again at the end of the video when we get there. So far, this race has followed the trends of the Truck Series and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. One caution for stage 1. Let's see if this race can continue that trend in stage 2. And immediately we have a problem. We got 2 cautions in stage 2. On lap 144, Christopher Bell gets loose, hits the inside wall and spins out. Then on lap 160, the big one happens. Shane Van Gisbergen gets loose in the turns, goes for a spin. John Hunter Nemechek turns right to avoid the spin, hits Alex Bowman, and sends them all into the wall. Oof. Alex Bowman was not having a good day up to this point. He was barely running top 30. He was well off the pace. And this crash, if nothing else, was a mercy kill. Kyle Larson will go on to win stage number 2. As we enter stage 3, Kyle Larson so far has led the most laps today. Ryan Blaney, the pole sitter, is right on his heels. And behind all of them is Joe Gibbs Racing, all their Toyotas. Really, it's anyone's race between Larson, Blaney, or JGR. How will the final stage play out? Let's sit back and find out. Our first caution of stage 3 happens when Riley Herbst dumps Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch goes for a spin and collects Michael McDowell, Eric Jones, and Christopher Bell. We have a new leader 20 laps later. Ryan Blaney muscles Larson out of the way and takes the lead. 20 laps after that, we have another caution as Connor Zillage goes for a spin. Around this time is when Ty Gibbs kicks on the afterburners, and he starts hunting down Ryan Blaney with 100 laps to go. Kyle Larson starts fading, Ty Gibbs starts charging. Before we talk about the end of the race, I want to highlight some drivers real quick. Riley Herbst had a pretty good day at the start, but towards the end of the day it fell apart. He needs more days like the start of Bristol, not like the end of Bristol. Noah Gragson was having a very good day. He was quietly running inside the top 20 for most of stage 2 and 3. What happened to William Byron, man? He replaced one part in qualifying, and now he's stuck in the back 5 laps down. That car is evil. Send it to the junkyard immediately. Joe Gibbs Racing is having a very good day today. No surprise there. They've been good at Bristol the last couple years. Although one car is left out, Christopher Bell. That damage from that caution earlier in the day has really slowed him down. He's been running inside the top 20 rather than the top 10. And like I said earlier, Alex Bowman's return to NASCAR wasn't exactly successful. He crashed out and ends up finishing dead last. Legacy Motor Club had a bad day. Both their cars getting involved in accidents. A surprise runner inside the top 10 is Todd Gilliland. Can he finish up high? Let's sit back and find out. With a little less than 30 laps to go, Chase Elliott goes for a spin. The leaders all come into the pits with different strategy. Kyle Larson with 2 tires, Ryan Blaney with 4 tires. 8 cars stay out, including Ty Gibbs. Will this gamble pay off? I guess we're going to have to wait and find out. When the race resumes, Ty Gibbs hangs on to the lead for as long as he can. Tyler Reddick is right behind him. Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney both get shot out of a cannon and start hounding Gibbs for the lead. Larson eventually relents, but Blaney is hot on his tail. With less than 3 laps to go, we have the final caution of the race. And what is it? Kyle Busch got his revenge. He spins Riley Herbst out for spinning him out earlier. Gotta love Bristol, man. White flag is out. Final lap here at Bristol. Ty Gibbs took a gamble and stayed out when everyone else pitted. It might just pay off today if Ryan Blaney doesn't catch him. Coming around turn 4 for the final time, Ty Gibbs will finally pick up his first career win at the Food City 500 at Bristol Motor Speedway. The 2022 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series champion finally picks up his first win in the NASCAR Cup Series. Ty's win came in his 131st start. He led 25 laps today. In second place is Ryan Blaney, who led 190 laps today. Third place is Kyle Larson, who led the most laps today by far at 284 laps. In fourth place is Tyler Reddick. Fifth place is Chase Briscoe. Incredibly, sixth place is Todd Gilliland. Seventh place is Joey Logano. Eighth place is Ryan Preece. Ninth place is Denny Hamlin. And rounding out the top 10 is Carson Hocevar. If I were to give this race a rating, it would be a low C- to a high D+. Now, why would I rate this race so low? Well, it's for a variety of reasons. Number one, the track itself. Ever since Bristol got reconfigured in 2007, the racing hasn't quite hit the same. Yeah, there's multi-groove banking now, but the old Bristol, the one they always advertised, beating, banging, hurt feelings, we haven't seen that in years. And a big part of that is because now that there's more than one racing groove, drivers can go up high or go low, and they don't have to use the bumper. So compared to what they advertise versus what's on track, the racing is far less aggressive from a contact point of view. Then there's the car itself. For whatever reason, the next-gen car does not like short track racing. No matter what you do, more horsepower, less horsepower, more downforce, no downforce, hard tire, soft tire, PJ1, no PJ1. No matter what you do, this car does not like short track racing. I don't know why. They've tried everything and nothing, and you can't get a satisfactory race out of it. Ironically, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race was fantastic. Very good race for O'Reilly. Same with the Truck Series. I thought the truck race was good. But the Cup Series at Bristol, Martinsville, and Richmond, it doesn't hit the same. I don't know what the fix is. An overreaction from NASCAR would be bringing the O'Reilly Auto Parts car to the Cup Series only for short tracks, right? Because the next-gen car handles the cookie cutters and the big tracks okay, and it handles road courses just fine. Granted, it's not as contact heavy as it used to be, but for road course, I think it's okay. It's the short tracks, the ones that fans want, is where this car struggles. And what's really a shame is that fans have been demanding short tracks for years now, and now we're stuck with a car that doesn't like them. And to add insult to injury, they got rid of Fontana to make a short track, and we have a car that can't race on it. So, where are we off to this weekend? I hope you boys like barbecue, because we're headed to Kansas Speedway. Kansas is another one of NASCAR's cookie cutters, but it's able to distinguish itself because it's very deadly. Yeah, for some reason, I can't explain it, Kansas has a reputation of being very dangerous. Eric Almirola broke his back here in 2017, and most cars who get into accidents here have a habit of going airborne. Not flipping, but just catching air. It's very surreal. We have 3 series racing at Kansas, the ARCA Menard Series East and Big ARCA, so it's a combo race for them, the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, and the Cup Series. There's no place like home. 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 There's no place like home.